Welcome to Filmatic. I am your host, the Film Doctor.
You know, those water guns you're shooting over there,
Okay.
they're not gonna hurt anyone, buddy. I think that.
I don't know why we're having a conversation now. Just do your intro.
Yeah, you should put those water guns away. You're only hurting yourself, okay?
That's not true. Whatever.
And the film.
Okay. Phantom of the
Michael's
Opera.
water guns suck.
I don't know why you do that. Like, this is a longer show because
Nah.
Okay, Rocky Balboa, keep it down and let's
It's like Batman. You see me? You see me?
You let me know when you're done shadowboxing over there like you've lost your damn mind, and let's jump into Filmatic. Here, go ahead.
Welcome back to the Attic, ladies and gentlemen. We have a hot film to dissect. Coming to us from theaters, Michael and I were blessed to get an advanced screening of this on Tuesday to watch The Batman. Should be coming out today. You can check it out probably tonight at some point. Thursday night, since the movies come out now. Thursday night, Friday. Check it out this weekend.
Where is she? Where is she?
Yeah, so man, we're excited to do this review, and let us know if you guys want us to try to get more early advanced screenings.
Without further ado, let's jump right into our movie review. Well, you go ahead. Go right ahead. Let's hear it.
This movie was good. I enjoyed it. We saw it in IMAX. With the best sound in the world and all that other stuff.
It was good. Yeah.
I want to say
the sound was good.
The sound was good. I want to say that I enjoyed this film. I had a good time with it. Just to get things started, we can talk about the story. From a story perspective, this was kind of more like a murder mystery kind of deal because of the villain that we're dealing with, the Riddler. The movie was kind of tailored to the villain in a way, and the story was just because Riddler is a hard villain to do. Michael, I don't know. I know you have seen the Jim Carrey version of this Riddler, who was pretty much.
I'm a huge Jim Carrey fan, but mistakes were made. Mistakes were made inside of his career at some point, and that was one.
Who was pretty much just a clown in this movie, and we're getting in this film a different version of Batman, a grittier, darker version of Batman. I would say it's more grittier than Christian Bale's version because Christian Bale still had that playboy-ness to him that he could bring out at any moment,
Which is not believable for Bruce Wayne, but keep going.
Robert Pattinson was not that in this film at all. He was a crime fighter. He was devoted.
You're basically saying he got zero hopes. Is that what you're...
Well, no, that's not what I'm saying. I'm not spoiling the film, Michael. Anywho.
I was about to say, because he got one. No.
I'm not spoiling the film. Yeah, but he's not that. He's a gritty, darker. He's dedicated to his vigilantism. That is his focus. So I just, it's a different character. I thought Robert Pattinson did a good job. And as far as the story goes, just to kind of touch on some things. In the beginning, I don't know if you notice this too, they kind of always talk about Batman's origin, like why is Batman Batman? His parents died. He went through some trauma around both of his parents being killed, and that is what spurred him to be Batman.
I do see every movie kind of starting with that, and that is one of my points as well, that they didn't do that in this, which was appreciated. It saved time.
They tricked us. They psyched us out because I don't know. In the beginning, in the first scene, I was kind of thinking, "Oh boy, we're about to, go see Batman's origin, and they kind of flipped that whole scene on its head and said, "Nah, we're not doing that. We're just gonna, you know why. You all know why. We've done plenty of these movies. You know why Batman's Batman. We don't need to waste time on that." Which I also appreciated. So that was pretty good. As far as like lighting and stuff like that, this was a dark film. They used dark lighting. I felt like the whole time I was sitting in pitch black, including the screen. Like everything around me was dark. Even Michael sitting next to me was dark. So but the lighting matched the movie. It was a dark, gritty film. They went with dark lighting. They used a lot of different tools that you will use in a movie to enhance the grittiness and the darkness of this film. The sound, the set design, the lighting. It wasn't too much. You didn't see too much sunlight in this movie. You got a sunrise or something like that maybe a couple times. For the most part, Batman was working when he operates, which is at nighttime.
Their whole production was night shoots.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much.
Evening to night.
Yeah, so, and then I'll talk briefly about a camera shot, talk about some characters, and then let you kind of jump in here. One of my favorite camera shots from this, and it's not really a spoiler because you can see it in the trailer, is when Batman is talking to the Riddler on a cell phone. And like normally you'll just see like when you're FaceTiming somebody, well, Michael doesn't know because he has an Android, but for those of us iPhone users.
So I have a really good phone, thank you.
For all of us iPhone users that actually have FaceTime, it's just your face and then a box where it's a person's face and then a box where you can
get a good enough signal in order to see all that. Okay, go ahead.
You're one to talk, Michael.
I'm just saying. Just do your review because I get good signal.
But when you're on FaceTime, right, you got their face though that takes up most of the screen and the little box that shows your face, right? So as they're talking, it starts out like that. But they kind of delve in, and I don't know how they did this or what lens or how they did it, but when you look at it, you can actually kind of see it from the Riddler's perspective, where Batman is now in that little smaller screen. You can kind of see him in that smaller screen as the Riddler's talking, and the Riddler's in that bigger screen. So I thought that was a really cool camera shot that really kind of stuck out in my mind, and I'm like, that was how they did that was really, really cool. As far as characters, Robert Pattinson, again, no longer just the guy from Twilight.
I mean, he's still the guy.
He's not.
He is.
He killed this. He murdered this.
Did he though?
He did, and I'm gonna give him his flowers. And on my Batman pecking list now, I would say Christian Bale is number one. And he's up there with him now. I need to see a couple more bangers before I give him the number one spot, but he's up there now.
Christian Bale.
Number two would be Michael Keaton. Number three would be George Clooney, and then number four would be Ben Affleck.
First of all, George Clooney's not even on the list. Nor is Val Kilmer. They're either of them. We're erasing them from existence.
Better than Val Kilmer, I'll give him that. But George Clooney's number three, and Ben Affleck's number four.
We're in the day and age of canceling people. We're canceling George Clooney and Val Kilmer.
Catwoman was great here. Zoe Kravitz did a great job as Catwoman. She knocked out the performances in this. The performances were really good. Riddler, hard character to do. I think they did it right. He wasn't a clown, and that's the biggest thing to me. He was not a clown at all. He was a serious villain, someone that you should take seriously. And the movie had stakes too. I want to say that too before I turn it over. The movie had lots of stakes. I mean, it's a Batman movie, it's a superhero movie. Batman's gonna come out on top, but Batman went through a lot to come out on top. And did he really win? When you think about it, no. When you think about it and you see this movie, you should ask yourself that question: did he really win in the end? They had some stakes here, and it was good. And they challenged Batman, and they put him through a lot. He wasn't just cruising. So I enjoyed the film. I want to hear what Michael says before I give my rating, because Michael is a hater. So I gotta see what type of haterade he's sipping on today before I come to a conclusion. So Go ahead, Michael. Tell us what form of haterade you're sipping on today.
No, sorry, there's a smell in the air. Oh, it's bullshit. It's coming from you. Anyway, the Batman, or as I like to call it, the Batman / Endgame and Infinity War, because it's about as long as that. So I know that a lot of people...
Did it feel like 3 hours to you? Did it actually feel like 3 hours?
It did. I mean, especially with the several 8 endings that they had. Ending number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. You know, I thought the movie was over 8 times. But it kept going for like another hour. And to me,
because you're a sucker, Michael.
To me, that doesn't bother me. That doesn't bother me because I don't think time defines if a movie is good. Looking at Zack Snyder's cut for Justice League, 4 hours, I was invested.
And it was still good.
No breaks, no pee breaks. I'm watching 4 hours straight. Multiple times I've watched it. Matter of fact, I tried to start watching it last night, but I had to go to bed because I was expecting to go to work. But great movie, 4 hours invested. So 3 hours doesn't really mean anything. It's just the fact that they were doing storytelling, and some of those things at the end could have happened maybe at the earlier. But considering the direction of the story that they were telling, I guess that's okay. But it just looked like they were wrapping things up and then going back into like a different story. It's like going on one path and then veering off to these other different paths to tell this story.
I enjoyed that part of the...
I'm not saying it hinders anything with my score or anything, my rating for it, but I'm just saying for other people, you know, Film Addict gives those reviews for people to kind of know what to look forward to.
Yeah,
and so if that's something that bothers you, I'm letting them know. You know what I mean?
Get over it, because this film is still good.
To me, is it though?
It is.
To me, it's like at the beginning, the Riddler, I mean, you see him as, okay, great. But everyone's going to compare this to Dark Knight because that is the creme de la creme. You know, that's the top of the food chain.
Like you had the best Batman in it, Christian Bale.
Let's back up.
Best villain.
No, that movie was only good because it was directed by Christopher Nolan. And Heath Ledger killed the performance. You don't get to finish. You had your time.
And you had a great director. You had a trio of great people. The cast, phenomenal. Dark Knight.
Are you done?
Yet to be touched.
Are you done?
Continue.
Oh, okay. So, because of Heath Ledger's performance and everything else, that besides Christian Bale, that movie was good. So everyone's going to compare this movie to that because it's the top of the mountain. And considering that the best thing out of Dark Knight was Heath Ledger's performance, the Joker, but Joker's a big character, Riddler is not a big character. So that performance had to be at that same kind of level. And honestly, when at the beginning I'm like, but towards the end, you do see that evolution. You do see the acting. You do see it behind it. And I think for what it was worth, for a different version that isn't the goofy Jim Carrey kind of Riddler, it was terrifying. His performance, in my eyes, from an acting experience, I've been in several, 40 TV shows, several movies, commercials, TV shows.
Films don't count, Michael.
You know what? Kiss my ass. I've done a lot of stuff inside of my time. I've been in drama club, everything. So I know what it takes to be a good actor. And he killed that role. I think that his performance in this was equivalent, I can't say more, equivalent to Heath Ledger's performance in The Dark Knight.
His performance is good. Equivalent is very hard for me.
I think that Heath Ledger's performance, it was good, but it was greater because of death. For some odd reason, and it's sad to say, people are worth more, people are valued more in death than they are while they're alive. Sad. I don't agree with it. It is what it is. I think if Riddler, the guy that played Riddler, died after this performance, he would be hailed as one of the best. But dead or alive, to me, I'm just looking at the performance, and it was spot on, scary, good, great acting. He never blinked. His eyes were always open. His facial expressions, he just looked disturbed and crazy. And I was terrified about it. You know, acting is so important, and looking at acting like shitty acting by Christian Bale, we're looking at who's the best.
Has great acting.
Excuse me. We're looking at the best acting in terms of Batman, and everybody was worried about Robert Pattinson. And quite honestly, I think that he did very well as Batman, surprisingly, but only because you saw him on screen more times as Batman than you did as Robert Pattinson.
But
Bruce
even
Wayne.
when he was on screen as Bruce Wayne, he still did a good job.
Did he though? Did he?
He did. He still did a good job.
Really?
He did. This role, the way they're doing Batman, is actually perfect for him. If he was supposed to be like a Christian Bale or a Ben Affleck type Batman, it wouldn't work.
If he was a Ben Affleck one, he would have done even better. But looking at what he's...
No, Ben Affleck is terrible.
Excuse me. Excuse me. Shush.
Ben Affleck
I think he did well for Batman. I think that Catwoman did well. Not even well. Phenomenal. Because looking at the original Catwoman, you had Halle Berry, somebody that is helmed as one of the great actresses of our time, who has won awards for her acting. She's just amazing in everything but Catwoman. Almost everything but Catwoman. I saw Gothica Halle Berry. Let's not play, okay? And some other ones. But for Zoe to come in here and kill this role, like, she deserves a standalone movie on her own. I mean, the performance was good. The story, and it wasn't like the Catwoman we know with a Catwoman suit. It was like origin Catwoman as she's making her own suit and coming up as Catwoman. And developing herself. Like, you see that evolution. It was a lot of character development from beginning to end. The story, it was sometimes all over the place, and I'm not going to spoil it, but there's a point where, you know, the henchman of Riddler one reveals himself, and so when I see him reveal himself, I'm kind of confused by it. This is not a spoiler. It's really just a point of what happened that you'll see, and we'll see if you're confused. When you get to that point, you'll know, like, oh, that's what he was talking about. And you tell me, are you confused by that in terms of storytelling? Did it make sense? Was it needed? Looking from the aspect of music, the music was fucking amazing. Whoever did the music, sound effects, did a great job. And I don't know if it's because I'm in IMAX, but I'm terrified about everything that was happening. I felt like I was there. When Batman would even walk towards the screen, I mean, him walking, the camera's looking maybe at the shadow as he's walking towards the screen. I'm terrified just with the music playing of... I haven't even seen Batman. Just the music playing in the shadow. I'm fucking terrified. And then even when he gets there, I'm even more terrified.
They did a great job on the sound effects of his walking. When he walks, it scares you, you know? And it's the same throughout the entire movie. His walking, when you see him walk, it scares you. You hear him walking. And he sounds like he's about to bring some vengeance to your ass.
Yeah, it's pretty good. And even the camera work, cinematography for me as a filmmaker is important. I've gone to school for film. I mean, I study film. I've done my own films and stuff. So I know what that takes, and I know good cinematography. And Christopher Nolan, in my eyes, did really good with how he did cinematography in the shooting. And I would say the same for this. Like, this was a dark film, so it was dark throughout the entire thing, but there was a consistency to it in terms of the feeling, the emotion that matched the acting and the on-screen performances and music. So the cinematography was great to me. There was so many shots. Now, I would say that there's a lot of times he uses the blur effect, rack focus, where you have whatever's in front of you in focus and everything else is blurred. He kind of overused it, similar to like how J.J. Abrams got a lot of shit for doing lens flares inside of the Star Trek reboot. You see a lot of blurred inside of this, and I don't think that that's bad. It doesn't hinder for me. I enjoyed it because you can have that thing in focus and then you see like the blurred skyline or something behind it, and the blurred skyline still looks beautiful, so that shot is beautiful. Like, he just made it work. And there was a lot of times where, even like with car chase scenes, you're just watching as the camera's filming as it's racing, it's different angles. Very seldom do you have POV, but he kind of, I don't want to say overused, but he kind of overused the whole fact of it kind of filming from the outside of the car or the bike or the motorcycle, whatever, like filming behind so you can see that. And it was kind of unique. It made me feel like I was there on top of the music and the sound effects. I will say that all in all, everything kind of played down to, was this good overall? Was it something that was better or worse? For all the bad things that I've named, for all the good things that I've named, was this a great movie? I would say from beginning to end, it's something that will keep your interest and have you invested. It's action-packed. You see a lot more action inside of this one, even more so than you would have gotten from Dark Knight. You just get a lot more in terms of the characters. I mean, there's a lot of characters that we know and see along the way. It was a great movie. I will say, if I had to give my rating right now, I'm going to say, because when I think about it, you say, hey, if we're going to put it in the A realm, it has to be in the A realm. And even though there are things that I pointed out that kind of make it seem like, oh, these were downfalls, there were downfalls probably to general people. If you have a problem with timing, if you have a problem with this. But for me as a filmmaker, for me as somebody that enjoys film and can watch it just as a viewer, not even a filmmaker, I'm still placing this movie, because I can't place it higher than Dark Knight. I will put it neck and neck. I'm going to say A+.
Yeah, this movie to me is up there. I will not say that it is better than Dark Knight. I can't say that. But what I will say is A+ for me. They did a phenomenal job. You guys need to go check The Batman out. Be careful out there. You may run into Michael at several different theaters.
I'm going to see it all over the place.
I'm pretty sure he's going.
I'm getting plane tickets right now, and I'm going everywhere to see this movie except Aurora.
Wow, Michael.
Too soon?
Too soon. I'm pretty sure he's going today, tomorrow, Saturday, and Sunday, right? Multiple showings.
Fandango.
Yeah. That's how much we enjoyed this one. It's a different take on Batman, and we feel like you guys are enjoying it. It's good. But as far as post-credit scenes, because we kind of want to let you guys know about that, don't feel the need to stay for a post-credit scene. There is something after the credits,
and we don't know what that is because we didn't stay, but we did Google it.
Well, yeah, we know what it is, but it's not anything setting up a sequel or anything like that. It's just
it doesn't connect to the story. It's nothing special, really.
You don't feel like if you left the theater early, you missed something. Yes, you did. So
beat that traffic. Basically, we're saying beat that traffic. That's all in all, what we're trying to do. Honestly, anybody that goes to see this movie, if you come in and you check out this review, and you've heard the points that we've both made. I mean, put in the comments if you agree, if you disagree. Was it good to you? Put in the comments
whether you think Ben Affleck is a good Batman.
We don't need to do that because
I know for sure the comments don't say
Shush. We already know, okay? Where is she? I can do it all day, okay? That's really all I have. Do you have anything else that you want to add about this?
No, I don't. Just want to thank you guys for tuning in. If you saw the In Memoriam, want to say rest in peace to my dog Ollie, and enjoyed the Batman.
Thank you everybody for tuning in. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that bell, do all that jazz. Put a little note, message inside of a bottle, throw it inside the water, let it reach our shores. Send up a little bit of smoke signals here, tie a little note to a pitcher's leg sitting on his way, and let us know what you guys think about the movie, about this episode. And as always, this has been another exciting episode of Film